Okay, welcome along. It's 3 minutes to the top of the hour, which will be 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. In fact, I don't know if I've shot my load a little bit early, about a minute or so. Oh, well, we've got a lot to talk about. So, yeah, I can imagine we've got a bit of time to play with. Welcome along to Talking Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. And I've just realized I'm using the microphone on the camera. And I think I would much prefer to use this fluffy microphone, which I get with the... There you go, connected, all good. And hopefully that's a little bit clearer. Who knows? Let me know. You know what? If you're watching, number one, you're a subscriber, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But 13 days to go to San Diego Comic Con. We are keeping a close eye on the good grief. You can tell my brain's a mess. The programming guide, programming schedule on the homepage. So you're going to be keeping an eye on that. Something else as well. My brother and my other half, Caroline, were listening closely to the live stream yesterday and distinctly noticed the difference between British hosts and American hosts. American hosts on podcasts and American hosts on television, they're very clean, very clear, and they don't pause or hesitate or trip over their words, and they don't go and ah and and make interesting noises like I was doing apparently all the way throughout the podcast yesterday. Apparently, if it was a drinking game, by about half an hour in, the pair of them would have been absolutely bollocks. I'll try my best to hold the ums and ahs to a minimum, even though I just did one right there. Is it just an affectation for myself? Who knows? Who knows? Jump in on the comments. Let us know where you're watching. If this is new to you, if you have never watched an episode of Talking Con before, I know we're getting one or two new fresh faces watching the show because of the interest in San Diego Comic Con with less than 2 weeks to go. But if it's your first time along, welcome. It is a show that we usually do on a Sunday, but as we get closer to San Diego Comic Con every single day, we'll do our best to go live, unless, of course, I find myself in a beer garden, in which case I won't, or I may postpone it and just kind of like dial back a little bit. But plenty to talk about. It's called Verbal Filler, says Chuck, and it's something I've had to train myself out of when I was teaching. I did teaching. I did instruction in stuff when I did at the warehouse. I was an instructor. You'd have thought I'd have got myself out of it, but no, I didn't. So we'll play the intro and we'll dive straight in. Lots to talk about, and of course, the Friday programming of San Diego Comic Con, hopefully coming soon. Hello there, everybody, and welcome along to Talking Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. My name is Len Sultana, and usually on a Sunday we are doing this wonderful show where we talk about comics, Comic-Cons, and the stuff and nonsense we get to enjoy at such shows. But we are talking 13 days and counting to San Diego Comic-Con. So it's all about SDCC. That being said, we could even be talking a little bit about London Film and Comic Con, because they've just announced some stuff, and New York Comic Con have got some stuff they've announced. We might just dip our toe into that a little bit later. As always, jump in on the comments. Let us know if there's anything you want to talk about. Is there anything you spotted in your news, your feed, in your social medias? Is there anything that you're looking forward to when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con? Is there, I don't know, anything generally in pop culture that has caught your attention? I did. We talked about this yesterday. There was a panel that was announced, which was for Red Sonja. I turned around and said that it was a little bit of a disappointment for myself that Gail Simone wasn't going to be on that panel. She's a creative producer, and she also created a number of the characters which will be appearing in the film. But we didn't. Her name's not going to be in there. However, the trailer went live, and frankly, it ain't looking great. We can do a little bit of a breakdown of the Red Sonja trailer if you want. Let me know if you've seen it and tell me what your thoughts are. I personally, I don't know. I'm not looking impressed. It's a shame, but there we go. We've got, so yeah, apparently, right. LA Comic Con has also announced some bits and pieces in news as well. And apparently have used Chat GPT for bios and a bit of a mess by all accounts. Oh, well, you see, we've got, you know what? I have actually been thinking about using AI to kind of filter and post as much as I can about the news and Comic-Con updates, because otherwise I'm just going to be here typing left, right, and center. But I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to use AI because of the way that it destroys the environment, and it steals from actually putting some effort in, which is what you're supposed to do. Chuck Cook is saying, good morning from somewhat cloudy San Diego. It is very bright here in the UK. It's record-breaking temperatures. It's 30 degrees here in the UK, where I am, which is in the north of England. Down south, it's 32, 33. It's incredibly hot. Very, 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 very warm. But you know what? I prefer it warm to it being cold. I wish I was in San Diego, and I wish I was with you in San Diego in 2 weeks' time. Okay, so plenty of stuff to talk about. Dan is he's tuned in and he's watching along. Hopefully, he's going to be hitting refresh on the Comic-Con programming schedule page. Let me know when it goes live, sir. I'll keep my eye on my phone, and please let me know. I'll keep my phone right there. Yeah, let me know when things happen, so then we can talk about programming schedule for Friday, the 24th of July for San Diego Comic-Con 2025. But still, plenty of stuff that we can get into and really kind of talk about. We can get into DC and all the things that they're kind of have got planned, considering there's plenty of stuff which they're going to be bringing to Comic-Con. We've got, so I just want to make sure that I'm, and what the heck? George Lucas sets first ever Comic-Con appearance for Hall H. You've just typed that in and gave me no context. Where the hell's that come from? Can you kind of elaborate, please? Or share with me the email and I'll talk about it. George Lucas at Comic-Con, he's finally bringing Ewoks, the movie, to Hall H. That would be awesome. Okay. So let's go through a couple of bits and pieces when it comes to the news. Yeah, there's been plenty that we've kind of posted up on. Check my DMs. Oh, good grief. Okay, I'll try my best to juggle that particular plate there, sir. So bear with me. I'll do what I can to cover it. Okay, so yes, the news updates that we've been seeing, we've got posted a number of them on the site, but it sounds like we've got a couple of things there posted by the Hollywood Reporter 4 minutes ago. Okay, so hopefully here we go, and we've got Dan Berry who's sharing the wrap. Nice to see we know where our preferences lie, chaps. So there we go. Okay, but a couple of bits and pieces we have. So let's cover the ones that we put up on the Convention Collective. For me, this was a panel that we announced yesterday, which was Anthony Mackie, the Stephanie Beatis, crashing into San Diego Comic-Con with Twisted Metal. But we've also got some new information now about what else you can get up to, considering there is an offsite, a Twisted Metal bumper battle. Fans able to step into a post-apocalyptic world filled with bumper-to-bumper chaos at Peacock's Twisted Metal bumper battle as a homage to the Twisted Metal tournament at the forefront of Season 2. Fans will be able to choose their ride, featuring the show's most iconic vehicles reimagined as bumper cars, and take part in their own version of the Calypso-hosted Derby. So in addition to the bumper car experience, fans expecting photo ops, a display of some of the tournament cars featured in the series, surprise and delight moments, and pandemonium around every corner. Considering, like I say, you have got Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatis in town, including cast. You've got Joe Snow and Anthony Carrigan as well. I can imagine they're going to be wandering across at some point, considering they are in town on the Thursday, first day. So the panel is going to be taking part between 3 and 4 in Ballroom 20, where you're going to be having Perry Neparov of Collider talking to them about Season 2, which is going to be coming soon to Peacock. And and you've also got a special advanced screening as well taking place on the Saturday. But they're in the room on Thursday, so fully expect them to be heading over. Oh, good grief. And the Friday is live already. It's now 7 minutes past the hour, so we've got that. Okay. What do you think? Should we do a little bit more of the news, or shall we just dive straight into the schedule? What do you think? Or shall we talk George Lucas? Well, we'll do this. Have a look at this. Oh, my word, there's some names involved. What day is that going to be taking place? That's going to be on the Sunday, so we're actually getting some panel information early. This is Lucasfilm founder joins Guillermo del Toro and artist Doug Chiang for a conversation moderated by Queen Latifah. George Lucas set to make his first ever Comic-Con appearance alongside Guillermo del Toro and Doug Chiang, with Queen Latifah moderating. That's Hall H on the Sunday. Wow, that's a hell of a panel for a Sunday, for goodness sake. Sneak peek at the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. The panel of iconic creators will discuss the power of illustrated stories and role of narrative art in society, from ancient cave drawings and hieroglyphics to paintings, murals, illustrations, comics, digital media, and sculptures. This panel will delve into the universal language of illustrated storytelling. David Glanz has weighed in with a comment, beyond thrilled to welcome George Lucas to Comic-Con for the first time. And we don't have any times for that, but that is going to be a packed room on Sunday, I can imagine. George Lucas and Guillermo del Toro. That's hardcore. That's brilliant. Okay, so we got the... it says it's coming soon, but if I click on it, let's see what comes up. And let's change this tab over. It is the programming for Friday. Okay. So Friday the 25th, kicking off at 10 o'clock. Well, tell you what, let's change a little bit of the way that it's organized. Let's go by venue. And let's, this is slightly, you know what? This is slightly different to the way it was yesterday when we did it in Chrome. And you know what? I think I preferred it that way in Chrome. But let's have a look away of organizing this, because I want to go with panels. Oh dear. Okay, there you go. It's a little bit more like it. So let's go into programs. So here we go then. 10 o'clock. Now, the best thing to do, I think, is to go by venue, and let's start with the bigger ones. Let's go. We'll lead into Hall H. Yesterday was a very strong day indeed. Let's see what Friday can deliver. So Friday, the 25th, there's 6 panels taking place in Ballroom 20, and it starts nice and strong. It is Resident Alien Season 4 panel, starting at 10 o'clock through to 11. So we go behind the scenes with showrunner and executive producer Chris Sheridan and Alan Tudyk, Sarah Tomko, Corey Reynolds, and Alice Wetland from the fan favorite series Resident Alien, based on the Dark Horse comic of the same name. We all know about the series. We know what the show's all about, but Alan Tudyk is always a fan favorite, and he's going to attract a lot of attention out of the gate. It is 10 o'clock in Ballroom 20, Alan Tudyk for Resident Alien. That's quite impressive to start with, at which point you then have TV Guide's magazine's Fan Favorites 2025. Fandoms collide when the official magazine of television brings together stars of some of your favorite shows for the annual hang that's always a blast. And it is from 11:15 to 12 o'clock, so it's only 45 minutes. No names attached to this as yet, but we've seen who's in town. There's quite a hell of a lineup of people that's going to be available for this panel. So that could be quite the thing. But for now, we don't know who's going to be on that. It's TBA on the actual appearance for that one. Primitive War is going to be taking place between 12:15 and 1:15. Writer and director Luke Spark will be joined by cast members Ryan Crichton from True Blood, Tricia Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, Nick Welshler from The Boys, and Jeremy Piven from Entourage to premiere exclusive footage from Primitive War, a Vietnam War thriller where the Vulture Squad realize they are fighting both men and dinosaurs. Fair enough. I mean, I think it's Tricia Helfer will be a big draw for that, as is Jeremy Piven as well. A way for people to really get in and find out what that's going to be all about at Primitive War between 12:15 and 1:15, Ballroom 20. Ballroom 20 collides Inside Hollywood with Bob Odenkirk, which means it's a nice spotlight panel on him, known for his work on Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and also Nobody, of which the sequel is coming down the pipe. During this exclusive one-on-one conversation, Odenkirk will share behind-the-scenes stories on his impressive career and reveal never-before-seen footage from Nobody 2, moderated by Stephen Weintraub, who knows his way around a panel. In Ballroom 20, I'd have said this is more a Hall H thing. But interesting. Let's see how that will draw a big crowd. Bob Odenkirk is a fan favorite. So, yeah, interesting to see how that's going to work inside the Ballroom 20 kind of lineup, because people in Ballroom 20 or the Ballroom 20 panels, very much more a case of cast up on screen, talking about the new series, talking about an actual product, an actual thing, talking about stuff, not necessarily focus and not a spotlight panel. So that's interesting. But there you go, Bob Odenkirk between 1:30 and 2:15. Only 45 minutes. Again, they're kind of messing around with the times on this one. Between 2:30 and 3:30, the next wave of horror. Neon's Together, Shelby Oaks, and Keeper, following the success of their breakout horror titled Longlegs and the Monkey. Neon brings 3 upcoming cinematic shockers to Comic Con with Dave Franco and Alison Brie, both on stage to talk about Together, which, if you've seen the trailer, that will be a hell of a thing. Yeah, that'll be curious to see. I'm waiting to see that film. I'm really interested in it. Author and critic Chris Stuckman reveals the hidden secrets to his terrifying debut, Shelby Oaks, and horror meister Osgood Perkins for Longlegs descends into darkness with his jaw-dropping new trip, Keeper. I think Dave Franco and Alison Brie obviously going to be the first big draw. Whether they're going to bring them all out on stage at the same time, so Dave Franco, Alison Brie, Chris Stuckman, and Osgood Perkins, could be interesting to kind of like have them rotating on stage. But no, I suspect it's just going to be all on with a moderator talking about the output for Neon. I would like to see a panel about the output of A24, considering there's some incredible stuff that are coming out of them. So maybe there's an A24 panel coming down the line, because I'd like to see something on weapons and all the other stuff they've got happening. And then to wrap up Ballroom 20, Dexter Resurrection. Surprise. America's favorite serial killer is back. Michael C. Hall is the star and executive producer of the show, with executive producers Clyde Phillips, Scott Reynolds, and you've got cast members James Remar, David Zayas, Jack Alcott, David Dashmalian, and Kirsten Ritter. Yay! 2 or 3 really big fan favorites there, all discussing the evolution of the franchise and new footage from the season. You won't want to miss this killer panel moderated by Jamie Chung from New Blood. That's between 5 and 6. That is another strong day. Possibly not as strong as the Thursday, but some great names, and people will come out of the woodwork for the likes of Alan Tudyk, for Bob Odenkirk, for Dave Franco and Alison Brie, for Dexter, for whatever that Primitive War thing was. And of course, we've yet to find out who is going to be in the fan favorites panel in Ballroom 20. But that is the panel, or that is the lineup for Ballroom 20 on the Friday. What do we think? That's a pretty strong day as far as I can see it. I mean, Andrew Dickens said, I don't know if I've ever been in Ballroom 20 for more than one panel at a time. It's a close room, isn't it? I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. Yeah, strong room. So that's Ballroom 20. Let's go over to Indigo and let's have a look at what they've got lined up for the Friday. And it's all about the animation. Yep, it's all about animation today, and it is non-stop in Indigo, with starting at 10 o'clock with Cartoon Network Studios Animated Shorts Showcase, curated programs spotlighting cartoons, animated shorts program from the Cartoon Network Studios, dedicated to innovating the art of animated storytelling, discovering new voices, and mentoring the next generation of animators. Join artists as they proudly screen their animated shorts. Interesting start to the day. It's a bit of a slow ramp up for Indigo for between 10 and 10:45. Then you've got Phineas and Ferb with co-creators Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh reuniting with the cast at Comic Con for the first time in a decade. Phineas and Ferb, of course, massive fan favorites, and everyone's really going to be up for checking them out. But yeah, that's a great way to get the fans out of their beds and into Indigo for Phineas and Ferb. Excellent stuff. Then at 12 till 12:45, a 45-minute panel on Haha You Clowns series premiere preview. Never heard of it, but then again, it's brand new. We're just over here trying to figure out how this dad got blessed with such great sons. Their mom would be very proud if she were alive. We'll tell you that right now. Okay, come get comfortable as Joe Capper, creator of Adult Swim's new series, Haha, You Clowns, tells you all about these amazing boys and their father. Watch a world premiere from the new season and maybe, just maybe, shed a tear along the way. Bit of it starts with a bit of an introduction to new talent, a big room filler for Phineas and Ferb. Might be a little bit of a clear out as we have that, because at the end of the day, we don't know what it's all about, so it's untried, untested. But this is what Comic-Con's all about as well, finding out your new latest fandom, considering that you then go straight into another packed room as we go into Adult Swim's Rick and Morty. So, you know what? If they wanted to promote Haha You Clowns as a way of making sure that you have somebody in the room, if you've got the fans from Phineas and Ferb and then fans of Rick and Morty, you can't really, you're not going to escape, are you? Season 8, the panel, entire voice cast of Rick and Morty, with EPs Dan Marharmon and Scott Marder to hear breaking news, new dimensions, uncover hidden Easter eggs, and also get an exclusive peek into adventures that wait in the Rick and Morty universe. Spin-offs? Who knows? You've then got another series which hasn't really translated to the mainstream, but certainly it will have its hardcore fans. Smiling Friends, with co-creators Michael Cusack and Zach Heidel for a first look at season 3. Exclusive peek and get behind the scenes of the new series. 45-minute panel on that between 2 and 2:45. Barreling along. Absolutely incredible. You then step away from Adult Swim for Polar Opposites. The aliens are back, and somehow even more chaotic as Hulu's hit animated series Solar Opposites heads into its final season. Tom Middleditch, Sean Giambroni, and Tiffany Haddish join exec producers Mike McMahon, Josh Bicel, and Sydney Bryan for an exclusive look at what's next for your favorite extraterrestrial family. It's your last chance if you are a fan of the show. Final season, so there is time to say farewell and shed a tear as we say goodbye to Polar Opposites. That's between 3 and 3:45. These are quick panels barreling along. And then you've got a panel which I've heard about, considering that they're doing quite a lot when it comes to their offsite. King of the Hill is going to be returning to Comic-Con for the world premiere of season 14. It's been 15 years since the last original episode of King of the Hill aired, and the Hill family and longtime friends are back. Mike Judge, Greg Daniels, Saladin Patterson, and then the cast members Pamela Adlon, Lauren Tom, and Toby Huss coming together for the world premiere of the King of the Hill revival ahead of its season premiere on Hulu Monday, August 4th, between 4 and 4:45. So, not a long day. Just under 6 hours. 5 hours. No, get it right. 7 hours. Between 10 and 4:45. panels that are just going to blister along. It's going to feel like a really rushed day in there. I feel there's going to be a lot of energy in that room. Indigo is blistering along with the animation stuff, at which point it takes its break, turns the room around, and gets ready for the Will Eisner Comic Industry Awards, which, quite frankly, for any comics fan, is a must attend, considering the great and you good are right there to get the full mashings, considering you're getting Patton Oswalt, Kevin Smith, Chase Masterson, David Dashmalian, Eric Bowser, all sorts of people presenting. It's the Oscars of the industry, and yeah, kicking off at 8 o'clock through till 10:30. Usually goes on a bit later, but who knows? That is the Comic Industry Awards. That is Indigo, starting at 10 o'clock and barreling through a whole bunch of animation stars. So there we go. Okay. Shall I do 6 BCF and do it? Let's do another big room. Let's hold off on Hall H. Andrew Dickinson's asking a big question. Didn't one of the cast of King of the Hill pass recently? I'm not entirely sure. Someone might have to just let me know about that. Let's have a look at this. Okay, we'll do it. Well, yeah, we'll cover this one. It is 6 BCF. It is one of the bigger rooms. Starting at 10:15 with Marvel Rivals, hero creation from concept to showcase, with a whole bunch of the creative team behind the game, and talking about the actual behind the scenes process of hero creation. So exploring the concepts of Marvel Rivals, hero design, and delving into the exciting new content from season 3 and more. That's 10:15 to 11:15. Video game actors unmasked. So you've got Sarah Emle from Helldivers, Zeke Alton from Call of Duty, Seth Allen Hoston from Spider-Man, and Keith Farley from Mass Effect, talking about the talent it takes to really capture a character for a voice or performance capture artist. That's between 11:30 and 12:30. Clash, from games to books to streaming. Patrick Algen, Jinlun Yang, Mark Siegel, and Yaprak D. Carmine from Game Jolt, talking about the wild journey from epic mobile mayhem to best-selling books, and now an upcoming animated series. That is Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. Fine. Now, this one is kind of looking at the headlines. This might be the headliner of this particular room. It is 6BF, and it is Lilo and Stitch, a look behind the continuing phenomenon. So you've got the live-action film that's just been released within the last month or so. Chris Sanders, the creator and the original voice of Stitch, so expect him to do some impressions upon the stage. Maya Keloa from the new film was Lilo. Tia Carrera playing Miss Kate Coca, and the original voice of Nani. And Sydney Adjong playing Nani in the live-action film. So, a hell of a lineup for a film that is out already. So, it's saying here, revisiting the franchise's enduring legacy and a close look at the new movie. So maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff on how they did it, and also maybe some hints and tips about what's coming, perhaps with a Lilo and Stitch 2. Who knows? But considering they are on stage for an hour between 3:15 and 4:15, yeah. And then Lego Masters back behind the brick. So it's leading up to a panel of Lego Masters contestants from season 5, just days away from the epic finale, joined by executive producers for Lego Masters tips, tricks, and secrets from the hit season. So Kaleidos Ladies Night with Perry Nemioff. Now, like I say, we had a big hit with. Oh, okay, I see a name there. I'm going to come back to that. I'd say Lilo and Stitch would be the big panel, but then you've got this between 5:45 and 6:45. Ladies Night returns to Comic Con to put the spotlight on more need-to-know female voices in Hollywood through an in-depth conversation that offers behind-the-scenes access and insight. Perry Nemiroff, the senior producer at Collider, sits down with Danielle Brooks from The Bad Guys 2 and Peacemaker, Jennifer Holland from Peacemaker. Jennifer Holland is, of course, James Gunn's other half. James Gunn has said he's not coming to San Diego. At least he's not. Superman's not coming to San Diego. You never know. They may be in town for Peacemaker. Danielle Pinnock with Ghost and other special guests to get a look at their journeys in Hollywood and tease their upcoming projects. 5:45 to 6:45. I love these panels. The showcasing the female talent around Hollywood and across the pop culture firmament. Any kind of way of showcasing female voices, I'm all down for. And then to wrap things up in 6 BCF, astounding team-ups in the Lumpia Deep Fried universe. Kid Heroes Productions, the creators behind the award-winning Lumpia film and comic book series, delve into their delicious upcoming collaborations. We've got Doug Marcheda from Forge and Fire, with Patricia Glinzea from the writer-director of this. You've got Wils Porticio, of course, from Image Comics fame back in the day. Dan Berry is saying Gunn will be there for Peacemaker. It's being reported. Fair enough. A whole bunch of people for this, for action figures, for the Lumpia Deep Fried universe. It could attract a bit of attention, but for me, the two big panels, Lilo and Stitch and Collider Ladies Night, and I suspect that is going to be a walk-in for most of that room. So there you go, 6 BCF, one of the biggest rooms. But let's talk the monster of the whole thing. Like I say, Indigo and Ballroom 20 yesterday had really strong rooms in Hall H. There's a little bit of a simmer. Great panels, but not the heat that was brought by Indigo and Ballroom 20. Ballroom 20 and Indigo today on the Friday has had some half-decent panels. But let's see what Hall H delivers on your Friday. Here we go. It starts strong and doesn't bloody stop. Good God. Okay. 10 o'clock. Kicking off with Stars Outlander. It is, of course, a series which gets people absolutely revved up. It's got an incredibly loyal fan base. Sam Hugan, Sophie Skelton, Richard Rankin, and executive producers Matthew B. Roberts and Meryl Davis diving into the look at the legacy of Outlander and its impact on the television landscape over the past 11 years. Discussing the upcoming 8th and final series, it is the final way to say goodbye to Outlander for hardcore fans at San Diego Comic-Con from 10 till 11, a full hour. What's this? We got Toby, Tails Charlie popping in. Hello there, Toby. Welcome along. So yes, Outlander, starting things off with the core series between 10 and 11 with cast and crew. But then you've got Outlander, Blood of My Blood, with Jamie Roy, Harriet Slater, Hermione Caulfield, Jeremy Irvin, Seamus McLean-Ross, Sam Retford, and Rory Alexander, joined by executive producers Matthew B. Roberts and Meryl Davis to preview the new series in the Outlander universe, focusing on the stories of Jamie and Claire's parents, with themes of succession, war, love, and fate that span multiple time periods. A standalone prequel series, enticing both Outlander fans, new and old alike. Between 11 and 12, it is going to be covering this series, Outlander, Blood of My Blood, a romantic saga that unfolds across time. So it is the Outlander first 2 hours. Okay, you have your Star Trek on a Saturday. It's Outlander on a Friday. For the first 2 hours, it's going to be hardcore. Now, I'm looking at the rest of the room. If you are an Outlander fan, it's going to be difficult to kind of really enjoy this panel, considering that you're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff later on today, which is going to fill that room and stay full for the duration of the day. We have Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. So you've got the cast and crew coming up on stage to talk about the third season of the series, set in Spain, and debut the official season 3 trailer. We know who's in town for it, and we know how big that panel is going to be for an hour, 12:15 to 1:15 in Hall H. It's going to be a big, popular panel. And then this one is as well. I mean, it's just non-stop. 125 to 250. So it is doing the full premiere of the first episode when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth. A young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. It is Alien Earth. from FX, and it is a first episode screening. Now, you're going to have Noah Hawley, you're going to have David W. Zucker, and the cast appearing on stage before you have the full presentation of that episode, which kind of begs the question, and I put this out on social media, and I'd love your thoughts. Put them into comments, please. What is your thoughts on this, please? Considering that this is supposed to be a hardcore alien series, you're going to have aliens, and you're going to have a real horror element to it. They are showing it at 1:30 on a Friday afternoon in a room which is technically supposed to be all ages. Now, admittedly, I'm sure they'll put a sign up along the lines of this is an alien series. It's episode 1. We may have some scares in here, may have some monsters. So all your little kiddywinks may want to sit outside. Anyone under the age of 16 may want to just take a moment and sort of like enjoy the California sunshine. So for the next hour, could you please bugger off? How on earth would you do that? How do you police it? Which kind of tells me that this series is not going to be as alien as perhaps some of us fans would like it to be. Andrew Dixon, I'd love Alien, but will I survive 3 hours of stuff I don't want to see? That's what I mean. You're going to have to, if you want to watch Alien Earth, you're going to have to get in the room, and you're going to have to watch Outlander, Blood of My Blood, and The Walking Dead. It's simple as that. It's the things you kind of have to sacrifice and go through. But there you go, Alien Earth, between 1:25 and 2:50. You are getting the first episode as a world premiere. Toby, they're going to push that PG-13 line really, really close. Chuck Cook is saying there's posters for it outside the Disneyland entrance, which is a kind of a weird juxtaposition. No, really? Yeah. Considering that you've also got some pretty adult fare. Okay, fair enough. You got some pretty adult fare all the way through this. Outlander, it's a pretty grown-up show. Walking Dead, of course, from the Walking Dead universe, Daryl Dixon, that's a pretty grown-up setup as well. Alien Earth as well. And then you've got The Long Walk, which we talked about yesterday. They did announce all the information for this with the cast and crew showing on stage for this adaptation of a Stephen King, Richard Bachman book. The Long Walk is going to be on stage. And yes, Legend, which is Mark Hamill, is going to be on stage. Interesting that his name isn't listed in the schedule, but no, Mark Hamill has been confirmed as going to be appearing on stage on this. The lead actor is not. I think it's a couple of like the second or third down the cast list, but it's second and third and Mark Hamill. So it's going to be a fun presentation for this particular film. It's between 3 and 4, The Long Walk in Hall H. And then following that, Predator Badlands. You have Dan Trachtenberg, the director, also directed Prey and 10 Cloverfield Lane. Joining stars Elle Fanning, who was in Super 8 and a bunch of other stuff. Demetrius Schuster-Kolo. I've done this before and I got it wrong. Kolo Amatangi from the Panthers with an exclusive look at the Predator Badlands, latest chapter in the legendary franchise. Hear first-hand stories from the set, insight into the film's new setting and characters, and get a sneak peek at never-before-seen footage, which, to be fair, they are deep in production for this film. So there's going to be a fair amount to bring to Hall H to show people. If you are aware of Prey, if you saw it, you'll know and understand why, for me, it was one of my films of the year of release. I loved that film to death. Dan Trachtenberg is somebody who I'm a huge fan of his work. And I can imagine that Predator Badlands is going to absolutely hold up to that. So again, following the adult themes from the rest of this is going to be a PG-13, PG-15 room, and will remain all the way through to the end, which you have the likes of. Yes, it's saying it's not giving any names here. It's not giving anybody as to who's going to be on stage. Just says the cast of Tron. But does that mean you're going to be getting the full lineup of people who are going to be showing up for this? Tron Ares between 5:30 and 6:30. Tron Legacy was actually the film that kind of got me going to San Diego Comic-Con for the first time, when they did that teaser footage and the energy in the room that you could hear on the bootleg footage coming out to fans. Yeah, it was one of the reasons why I said I wanted to get to Comic-Con. And on that Thursday, that first day of 2010, they did the Tron Legacy. So we're talking 15 years later, it's doing this panel. So director Joachim Roning is going to be directing, or has directed, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and is doing Tron. I'm hoping that you'll actually hear some music, perhaps from Nine Inch Nails. That would be rather cool. Of course, Jeff Bridges, you'd love to see him up on stage. He loves Comic-Con. Yeah. You got Toby, who's saying, damn, I love looking forward to Tron, but going to miss that. Why would you be missing it? Is it the cast? Because, of course, there is somebody in the cast of Tron Ares that people might want to kind of decide to make a bit of a skip on. But if Jeff Bridges is there, I would be in the room. I want to see more, and I would like to see what they've come out with, because if you've seen the recent Empire magazine setup for Tron Ares, I think it looks very impressive indeed. Andrew Dickinson is saying he's not got Friday tickets. Bugger. Okay. All right. You have not. All right. I'm only going to be on the con Saturday and Sunday. Okay. He's going to miss it. Shame. Sorry about that, Toby. Only way I wish I could help you with that, but there we go. Right. So those are the big rooms. What's your thoughts? What do you think? I'd actually say the Thursday is stronger, perhaps. Just a little bit, but Friday certainly stronger than the Thursday, and really getting into the whole spirit of that big 6,500 room. So I personally think it's going to be absolutely rammed from the moment doors open to moment doors close. If you are wanting to get in for the likes of Walking Dead, you're going to be getting up very, very early. If you're wanting to see Alien Earth, I think you're going to be needing to get up very, very early. It is going to be, it's a camp out, is that, because it's some very popular shows. Andrew Dickinson saying Hall H wins, but only the last half for me. Understandable. Alien Earth, Long Walk, Predator Badlands, and Tron Ares, that is what I would be getting into the room for. But then you would have to get through a lot of stuff that I would not be interested in. But it's going to be very, very tough. It's going to be a camp out. If you're wanting to get in for Tron Ares, I would suggest getting down there for first thing in the morning and hoping that there'll be some space with the turf out from the likes of Walking Dead and Outlander. If you're wanting to get in for Long Walk, you're going to be in. We have to get in there from the word go. Alien Earth, likewise, but again, it's going to be that delineation between Outlander and Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, and then the rest of it. It's just going to be. I don't see much movement going around. I don't see many people sort of like leaving the room. Maybe the hardcore Outlander fans, so maybe a front quarter. But it's going to be a busy room all the way through. So there we go. That is your schedule for Hall H. Let's go through the whole schedule for the day, and let's see if there's any dark horses which kind of catch everyone's attention. And let's see what's going on. Okay, let's go for the programs as we go through from Friday. Oh, yeah, we do have to kind of scroll down because obviously this is the complete programming. Let's have a look at where we are. I do kind of remember the ones. There we go. I do remember the ones from yesterday. So there we go. Now I'm going to scroll through these. I'm just zoom in a little bit further as well. If there's anything you spot as we scroll through, dark horse panels, maybe something that has caught your attention. Now then, Friday, July 25th. I put something up about this on the Convention Collective this morning, which was the Hype Friend podcast. This is Ashley Eckstein and Michael James Scott, their new podcast. It's a holding of a live taping, which is going to be at the San Diego Central Library. Okay, so I may have to update the post because it actually implied in the release that they were after. Oh, I had a bit of drop there. Let me know if I'm still around. What you missed there, but it was under the impression that that was going to be. It's all right. This episode will be the official. Get all the details about the night before and a peek behind the runways. So it's not an after show as such on the day of the fashion show. In other words, that's slightly misleading on the press release, because it kind of implied finish the fashion show, head over to the library for the after show. All right, never mind. Okay, we've already talked about the big rooms, ballroom 20 Hall H, but let's have a look at the smaller rooms. New era of Turtle Power in 25 ABC. Kevin Eastman, Tom Waltz, Ben Bishop, Caleb Goliner, and Bobby Kernauer talking about the latest announcements and work from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, including comics, including Shredder, Casey Jones, and more, and moderated by our good friends at Comic Book Couples Counseling. If anybody knows the Turtles, it's those two. They are absolutely big fans of the franchise. Between 10 and 11, it sounds like Brad and his missus are going to be very, very busy indeed. Okay, the black panel in 5AB. Let's see who's in there. Micah Davis, Vanessa E. Williams, Kevin Grievou. Okay, where is this going to be held? This is the Omni Grand Ballroom, 5AB. I would have hoped there was going to be a little bit more. I mean, there's Keith and Jones in there, who's the founder of Black Comics Day, and MD Marie from Top Cows Vindication. But yeah, I would have hoped for a few more headlining names in there, considering that there are some incredible black voices in town. Spotlight on Jonathan Mabry in 24 ABC. All of these panels, by the way, are going to be at 10 and 10:30. Okay, let's scroll through again. If you spot anything, let me know, and we'll dive in. Graphic novel versus manga in the Grand Central Library, San Diego Central Library. Sorry. Okay, the comic book couples. Is that going to be? Oh no, it's not. Is it? Hang on. No, I actually genuinely thought it was going to be the comic book couples counseling hosting this. Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, Terry and Robin Moore, Brian and Francisco Peludo, and Billy and Deborah Tukey joining a spousal self-publishing roundtable to discuss being married to a comic creator, running a publishing company, and how you two can find mainstream and crowdfunding success. To be fair, even if it was just stepping away from the whole idea that they are couples, that's a pretty good panel. And yeah, they got some real crowdfunding experience on that panel. So if you are wanting to get into crowdfunding, you've got some experts there can absolutely get you up and running. Okay. Again, if you spot anything, let me know. I'm just looking at titles and seeing which ones absolutely jump out at me. Spotlight on Stephanie Phillips. That's going to be Will Dennis hosting that from 12 till 1. Fantastic writer. She is somebody who has done a couple of my favorite books, which it's a shame that her name is not more of a household name when it comes to comics. William Stout is a household name, or certainly within comics households, considering that co-founding of the Comic Art Professional Society and sharing the studios with Dave Stevens and Paul Chadwick, and attending every single San Diego Comic-Con between 12 and 1, a spotlight on the legend, which is William Stout. Okay, moving through, of course. Okay. Chuck a Toilet, Toby saying, I guess I'm behind a bit. I thought the schedule wasn't out until a week before. 2 weeks out. 2 weeks. And there we are, 13 days for San Diego Comic-Con. Now, one of our special guests is getting a spotlight, and for comics fans, this is going to be a pretty big event. Bilquis Evely, originally from Sao Paulo, of course, artist behind the likes of Wonder Woman, The Dreaming, and of course the award-winning Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow and Helen Windorn as well. That is going to be between 1 and 2 with Comic-Con special guest Bilquis Evely spotlight panel. And not going to lie, if I was in town, that's where I would be. I would be in the room. I know that there's Alien Earth, but I can wait for that. Yeah, Bilquis Evely is absolutely the one. That is going to be between 1 and 2, but you've also got other spotlights happening as well between 1:30 and 2:30. Todd Klein, and also Greg and Karen Evans as well, special guests with the Luan creator and the father-daughter collaborating team behind Luan. Special guest also happening and 2:30. Adam Hughes, comic illustration grayscale markers. It's the room 3, which is the how-to room upstairs. Getting Adam Hughes to talk about stuff. Wow, fantastic. Obviously, room the how-to room was something that was under the purview of Clyde Nee. It's nice to know that her legacy is being held up by some very strong panels indeed. Seeing what's, I mean, there's stuff there's a lot of comic stuff, which is great, frankly. Someone turned around and said that there's no comics being represented at Comic-Con anymore, and I turned around and say, you clearly don't know what on earth you're talking about. Celebrating Dark Shadows, Comic-Con premiere of a new original graphic novel. This is going to be taking place in 32AB. Daniel Herman, Catherine Lee Scott, the star of the classic TV show, Jim Pearson, Craig Hurd Kearney, and Jock is going to be the artist of Dark Shadows. Oh, funny. But this is going to be a new book celebrated in room 32AB, and any panel which has got Jock on it, I'm a happy bunny. Yeah, that's going to be lots of fun. Girls versus boys versus none of the above. Youth discuss how popular media keep up with culture regarding gender extreme sexual orientation, seeing themselves represented. That's going to be in the San Diego Marina, which is a shame. That could have done with being a little bit closer to the main rooms, but there we go. Okay. So you want to be a quick retailer. So anyone who's skint and wants to stay skint, find out more from the likes of Shannon Live, Ethan Manoff from Cape and Cowl, Kate DeVoe from Hello Comics, all the way through, and moderated by Marco Divanzo, Executive Director of Comics Pro. Okay. Celebrating the 35th anniversary of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is this going to have the comic? It's in 29 CD. That could be interesting. Hang on a second. Moderated by Sam Rocco, Fall of Casey Jones. I genuinely thought we were going to have some more of the actual staff on there for that one. Comics, Marvel Comics, next big thing in 6A. Always a big room, considering you've got some special giveaways as well. Marvel Editor-in-Chief C.B. Cebulski, Tom Brevoort, and Ultimate Editor Will Moss, and a lineup of superstar creators giving a glimpse into the future of the Marvel Universe, including the announcements for upcoming series and storylines, which will have the whole industry talking. X-Men. That's pretty much what you got in the Ultimate series. So there we go. Terry Moore in 29AB. What time is that going to be taking place? That is between 4 and 5. So right now, the smaller panels, it's lots of little stuff that really gets people's attention. So you want to start a comic book YouTube channel. Now, I did actually do a panel called How to Start a YouTube Channel. And we did okay. We got some interesting perspectives on it. But yeah, Not entirely sure I know many of the people in that particular panel, and it is going to be held at the San Diego Central Library, which means you are going to have to go out of your way to go and check out that panel. Never mind. Spotlight and Max Allen Collins in room 26DE. Special guest star, of course, but he is a lauded and much celebrated comic creator, Max Allen Collins, with a career ranging from Dick Tracy all the way through to Road to Perdition. And that's going to be in room 28DE between 4 and 5. Anyone spotted anything? Anyone kind of seeing anything that, I mean, yeah, it's this kind of thing that I'd be up for. I mean, if I wasn't in the room for Predator Badlands, if I couldn't get in, I'd be in the room for this because it's Jamie Hernandez, Love and Rockets. The man's a legend. And between 4:30 and 5:30 in 26AB, you get to see behind what he gets up to and how he does what he does. And Jamie Hernandez is just so much fun. He is just one of the most positive guys I've ever seen in comics. What a panel! That's great. Bad Idea, the SDCC panel. A perspective or a publisher which just still doesn't manage to break through into the mainstream in much the way like Distillery has or Aftershock did. It just doesn't seem to grab people's attention. Nobody knows really the titles. They haven't got a breakthrough hit yet, but they do keep plugging away. It is Derek Kolstad, the creator and writer of the John Wick franchise movies, modern maestro Robert Venditti, and Bad Idea impresarios Dinesh Shamandazani, Peter Stern, Benjamin Simpson, and Sienna Fallon for an exclusive look of what's coming down the pipe from Bad Idea. Brand new art from Planet Death, Ordained, Survive, Cul-de-sac, Habitat, Hero Trade, and much more. Speaks volumes. I couldn't tell you anything about any of those books. They're just not pushed. And Bad Idea just doesn't seem to get the purchase that all of this talent and all of this attention should have done it. I think they just, when they put themselves out as being the bad boys of comics, it's going to that kind of push back on a lot of people, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Expect more with Ahoy Comics. Slightly more interest in the wider world, and also a similar lineup of talent like Matt Bors, Jordan Clark, Tyrone Finch, Melissa F. Olsen, and Mark Ross. I hope so. Yeah, give us a thumbs up in the comments. Let me know if I'm back, if I'm still around. 8DE, but it's got, like I say, Mark Russell in there. It's got Matt Bors in there, Jordan Clark in there, and Barbara Dillon from Fanbase. She knows her stuff, and she knows how to get the best out of a panel, and that will be an interesting one. I think if I was around, I'd get the chance to go in for that. Room 28DE, expect more with Ahoy Comics between 5 and 6. Revisiting Iconic Worlds. Where is this going to be? 29AB. Disney Kids. Never outgrow the classics. It's here from 3 best-selling Well, the camera's working. He vanished like Bilbo. Toy Fan is saying it's Friday's Hasbro's big day for toys, which I would be attending if I had a badge. Understood. Sorry about that. I'm going to try and continue, but what we'll do is I think we'll just we'll barrel through as quick as we can, because clearly I've been pushing it. I thought I was doing okay without moving. Like I say, I'm using Edge because Chrome was the browser that was giving me grief, but it looks like Edge is also kind of struggling. So we'll make this quick and we'll kind of wrap this up. We're getting to an hour anyway, considering that we are getting into what time in the schedule between 6 and 7. So we're getting to the back end of the day. 15 years and counting. We talked about Barbara Dillon, but she's joined by her other half, Bryant, and also we're joined by the likes of creators Jordan Hart, Matthew No, Richard Fairgray, Shane Portman, and also Jack Phoenix, talking about 15 years of Fanbase Press. Fanbase has done a lot to get some real talent, a fantastic spotlight and up on a stage, but also just doing their own celebration of the best of comics and pop culture. And I'm a big fan of Fanbase and what they do. It feels on occasion sometimes a little academic, a little dry, but that is because if they didn't go at it with their approach at Fanbase, they wouldn't be able to cover as much as they do. It's not scattershot. It's very well thought out what Barbara and Brian do. Sometimes I wish they had a little bit more of that freewheeling spirit that Comics Book Counseling brings to the table. But for what they do, 15 years, it speaks volumes. And yep, they're continuing to do what they do. Okay. Real Crew, remember Star Trek Enterprise Long Road's finale. So the finale of Enterprise, a TV series, which it was done. I'm not the biggest fan. If there was a Deep Space Nine panel, I would be there, because Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek series. So there we go. If you're still there, we've got still people who are watching. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Industry vets go independent on Kickstarter. Chris Thompson is in town. He's going to be talking with Jaslyn Stone as well, and Philip Sabick as well from Ignition Press, and Hank Kanzelitz from Clover Press in room 26AB. I don't know how busy that's going to be, but there's going to be plenty of people that obviously want to try and get the very best out of their Kickstarter campaign, and they'll hopefully be getting some hints and tips from those guys. Although, to be fair, there are other people in town that could also really provide some perspective on Kickstarting. Okay. Anything else that's kind of joining you or attracting your attention? The Law of Daredevil Born Again, another legal representing of pop culture. Join lawyers and judges for their legal review of Daredevil Born Again. Can Bullseye sue Daredevil for injuries he sustained from being thrown off the top of a building? Can Nelson, Murdoch, and Page practice law when they have a non-lawyer equity owner? Does Matt Murdock understand how the attorney-client privilege works? How is Wilson Fisk not in prison? Circuit judges, magistrate judges, and judges talking about the legal ramifications of Daredevil Born Again. I would like to just dip into that. I'd like to know how dry it gets, but yeah, that would be rather interesting indeed. I've just seen one. Has anyone else spotted it? In room 6A. Here we go. Let's see who's going to be on stage. Oh, God. Okay. Changed my mind. What a damn shame. Just when you thought it was safe to go back to Comic Con. 2025 marks the 50th anniversary of the first summer blockbuster, Jaws. So you have got Pat Yankovic, author of Just When You Thought It Was Safe, a Jaws companion. Mark Atkinson, who is a wicked big Jaws fan. Woo. Toy fan spotted it. Chris Gore, the film critic and founder of Film Threat, a man who, if you go online and have a look at the rise and fall of Chris Gore, basically over the course of the last 10 years, that man has torpedoed any goodwill that he got from his time as for Film Threat and on mainstream nerd television, by just being one of the most bitter voices in fandom. What a shame that the 50th anniversary of Steven Spielberg's Jaws is getting celebrated by them. What a shame. What a damn shame. Okay. The Expanse. It wouldn't be Comic-Con without the Expanse panel. Michael P. Yay, Michael, senior writer from a Comic-Con fan site. Is that how your name's really been put down? Dude, you deserve more than that, but he's got himself a panel of experts. He'll have put this panel together. Chris Keller, from a professor of creative writing, Dr. J. Scott Gordon, Chris Blackwood, Dr. Robert Hurt, and Scott Hudson, exploring how The Expanse reminds viewers that heroes and villains are found in all walks of life. Panelists discuss how The Expanse explores the concept of fanfare for the common man. Sometimes the fanboy has help in saving the world. I like that panel. I like what you've done with the idea of that. Michael, I will spread the word about that one. Congratulations. Bridging The Expanse, there are no small roles. Excellent stuff. Yeah, that's room 28, 28D from 8 till 9. That's a great way to kind of wrap up the days. And then you've got yourself some more bits and pieces just to wrap up the day. Okay. Psychology of Star Trek versus Star Wars, Episode 7. Not your typical space battle. Turbocharged with brain science and fun facts. Discussion, explore, explaining the celebrate the sci in sci-fi. Ronald D. Moore is in the room, and Diana Lee Inosanto from Ahsoka. You know what? That's a strong panel. 29 CD from 8:30 to 9. How cool is that? But anything with Ronald D. Moore on it, that's going to be great. Drea Letamindi from the Arkham Sessions. That sounds familiar. I know that name sounds familiar. But Ronald D. Moore, fantastic. And there you go. That kind of wraps up the day. And Dr. Horrible screening and Horrible karaoke. They really do keep dragging this one out. What we obviously want is a sequel to Dr. Horrible, which is unlikely with Joss's standing in the pop culture community, and everyone else has gotten very, very busy. And the way that Dr. Horrible came about, the landscape has changed between then and now. But okay, keep rocking it out. The California Browncoats are doing 8:30 till 10. It is a full fan screening of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Toby, you know you want to go to that karaoke panel. I'll go to the karaoke panel if it's Once More With Feeling, because I just love the songs. And you know what? I do love Dr. Horrible. I'm a big fan, but I wish there was some more celebration of, on the DVD, there was a second track called Commentary, which is a kind of like behind the scenes of the making of Dr. Horrible, but sung. Commentary the musical. It's actually very, very funny. It's on YouTube. Check it out. I'd give that a spin. If I was doing this panel, and I'd love to know how it would work, but I'd love to do it just for the sheer chaos of it. Do it like a silent disco. So everyone gets headphones and they can choose between the two channels. Either Dr. Horrible or Commentary. The Commentary of the musical. And you can pick and choose. But that's because I am chaos incarnate. And that's what I would do. So there we go. That is the panels. As strong, if not stronger than the Thursday. So the days are really kind of racking up really, really nicely. Some fantastic people involved. Just kind of really, these are small panels that have got a real niche interest, which means you're going to learn a lot from them. I mean, obviously, apart from 50th anniversary of Steven Spielberg's Jaws, you might get a couple of comments out about how the all the islanders were right and the shark shouldn't have been paid for. Yeah, fun and games. Original comic art. So look, oh, Patrick A. Reed. Hello there, you. With Dinesh Shamdanansi and Mickey Finnegan as well. Patrick A. Reed knows his stuff. He's the curator of the Spider-Man Beyond Amazing exhibition that was up at the Comic-Con Museum last year. Knows his stuff. He also did the recent Jack Kirby Heroes and Humanity exhibition presentation. Knows his stuff. That would be a very interesting panel indeed. Original comic art, an open discussion with the insiders. So there you go. The panels are up. What do you think? Is there anything that you spotted? Let us know, of course, with the hashtag Englishman SDCC, and of course a cup of tea, an Englishman in San Diego, AISD. If there's anything that you've spotted that you would like to find your way getting into, again, it was going to be difficult considering just how strong Thursday was. Thursday was insane for certainly Indigo and also for Ballroom 20. Hall H was that little bit of a simmer. Now all three rooms are incredible. And that also means that it's going to take a lot of people off the floor. A lot of these panels are going to take a lot of people off the floor and get everyone kind of exploring around the panel rooms of San Diego Comic-Con. This is a strong lineup. Even if you weren't able to get into any of the big rooms, you are going to find something to get your attention, because my word, it's just, there's a lot here. It's just a cracking setup. I am going to be doing a full typey post about my dark horses. I'm going to pick 4 or 5. Maybe there will be ones that I've not chosen. I'm going to have a closer look over the course of the next couple of days. But that has been the Friday panels. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Thanks for sticking around. As always, if you want to like and subscribe, find out more when we go live. We are doing this every single day as we go closer and closer to San Diego Comic-Con, and certainly over the course of this weekend, which means tomorrow, if I'm around and if I'm sober, I will be here from 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT, as we talk Saturday at San Diego Comic-Con. We've already seen that we've got really strong panels coming and being revealed on Sunday, including that George Lucas panel, which is amazing. Yeah, we're going to find out just how strong Saturday is going to be. We're going to find out if Universal are going to be coming, and if indeed we're going to be seeing Christopher Nolan back on stage. We're going to be finding out about what the big headliner is at the end of Saturday. Who is going to be taking the attention? Are we having Kevin Smith back to do another one of his panels? Well, he's in town, so why not? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day, especially for those big rooms, especially for Hall H. We want to see what's going on. We do know we've got the Star Trek panel. We do know there's going to be a Universal panel. No idea as to what that's going to consist of yet. Who knows? But we'll find out tomorrow. Join us, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. We'll cover the slight headlines, a chance to cover the headlines of what's happening in the world of Comic-Con. And, of course, we'll dive into the Friday. Do please head to theconventioncollective.com, where we are posting a bunch of stories. And I'm going to type up that George Lucas panel now, because heaven knows that's got people. I guarantee if I go onto social media now, that's what has got people's attention. Thanks for your company. Do take care. Join us tomorrow. We do Friday, San Diego Comic-Con, in 12 days' time. And we'll find out exactly what's going to be happening on the big stages. From me to you, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm off to see Superman in a couple of hours. So I'll let you know what that's like as well. Non-spoilers, as I talk about Superman as we get into the whole thing tomorrow. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.